Seek first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you. Matthew 6:33. Hi, I'm Chauncee Hollingsworth. I'm 21 years old and I attend North Central University. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. I lived there pretty much all my life until about 7th grade. And after 7th grade, we moved to Michigan as a family. I'm the second oldest out of 5 siblings. My parents got divorced when we lived in Michigan. And after they got divorced, we moved back home to St. Louis with just my mom and my siblings. When my parents got divorced, it was really tough for me because I was a daddy's boy. I love my dad. I actually remember the exact day when we had moved from Michigan to St. Louis. My dad came to me, he sat me down, he bought me a guitar, and we played it together for a second. And he said, Chauncey, you know I love you, right? I said, yes sir, I know you love me. He said, and you know I'm always here for you. And I said, I know that, Dad. And after that day, that was the last time I saw my dad after we moved for like maybe 5 or 6 years straight. As I was growing up, when you live in St. Louis, man, there's a lot of influences around you, and they're not positive. They're not positive influences. So for me, it was trying to distinguish exactly who do I want to be, because in St. Louis and living in an urban environment, living in inner city, guess what? You have 2 choices. You can either be a person that pursues something, or you can be a person that give up and fit in. I went to church most of my life growing up. Most of my life I was in church. But the thing is, I never knew what it meant to actually be a Christian. Being a Christian is having a true relationship with Jesus, and that's something that I did not have before I came to North Central. Me coming to college and basically sticking with it is very unique where I come from. I started playing basketball when I was 5 years old. I used to have this old school Fisher Price hoop, and me and my brothers, we used to just play on it. Even my older cousins used to play on it with us. It was super fun. I loved it. I don't even know exactly what drew me to basketball, but I just started falling in love with the game. But when I first came to North Central, I remember the first day I pulled up into the front of the school, and I was looking around, and it looked pretty good, and it was exciting. But then I noticed one thing, and I was the only black person. I was the only black person in like the whole school. I'm a youth pastor at Found a Life Gospel Church, South Minneapolis. I've been a youth pastor for almost 2 years now. If you would have asked me, Chauncey, would you see yourself going into pastoral ministry? I would have said absolutely not. It's been the greatest blessing that I've ever had in my life. Just the opportunity to be able to pour into kids' lives every single week.
Within the last 2 years, Chauncey Hollingsworth became our youth pastor. He was highly recommended by some other pastor friends of mine. I've been very impressed with him as a youth pastor, as a man. as a student, as an athlete. He's a super dynamic speaker, and on top of that, he's got a great heart for the Lord.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work.
Hard work separates the men from the boys, the contenders from the pretenders, and the winners from the losers. Listen, hard work is what you need in your everyday lifestyle if you want to be great. If you want to be great, if you want to impact people, and you want to have your own business, whatever it is, whatever your dream is in life, it has to have hard work. Well, one quote I love is, actions speak louder than words. And guess what? Your hard work, that's a sign of evangelism right there. Because when people see you working hard, people see you giving everything that you got, guess what? That inspires them to give everything that they have.
There we go, stretch for it. There we go, good job, boy.
Listen, it's not about having the most talents. It's not about having the greatest gift. But guess what? It's about having the most diligent heart to see other people get saved through your actions as a Christian. Literally, whatever you do, it doesn't matter if it's basketball, soccer, a musician, a preacher, a pastor, whatever you do it for the Lord and not for men. And you're not looking for people to give you acknowledgments or accolades. You just need to know that everything that you do, you're trying to glorify the Lord. And that's what Hoops in Christ is all about. If I had to sit and talk to a young man and that's going through a really tough time in his life, the main thing that I would tell him from the beginning of the conversation is that there's hope. A lot of young people in this generation that we live in, they do not believe that there's hope out there for them. So the number one, and check this out, hope is not an entitlement. Hope is a choice. Hope is something that you choose to have in your life. You know, that's something that you choose. And the last thing, or another thing, is this: sacrifice. I would tell a young man, listen, if you want to be great or you want to be successful, you have to make sacrifices. You have to remove some things that are in your life that should not be in your life because they might be restricting you from what God is trying to take you. Oh, that's a good quote. Beyond the game, this phrase means a lot because this phrase opens up the opportunity to witness to kids. Because guess what? The name of my organization speaks for itself. Hoops and Christ. It's not just hoops and it's not just Christ. We put it together. And as we put it together, we use hoops as a tool. You know, it's a tool in order to minister to kids wherever they are, whatever background they come from. It's an opportunity, like I said, to witness to kids and tell them about Christ through basketball. And one thing that I realized growing up is, like, no matter what or no matter how far you go with basketball, one day the basketball is going to go flat. And what are you going to do when that basketball goes flat is the big question. Guess what? If you have these biblical principles instilled in your life and you have fundamental truths that you follow by every single day, guess what? It doesn't matter if the ball goes flat. There's people that need you. I love playing basketball, I love watching basketball, I love studying basketball, I love teaching basketball. But basketball is what I do, it's not who I am. I don't do what I do for money. I don't do what I do for fame. I do it to save souls, and that's what it's all about. Without basketball, I wouldn't even know Jesus Christ. Basketball Basketball changed my life. Jesus Christ saved my life. And this is beyond the game.